Good afternoon and welcome to Merseyside and to Goodison Park. For the final time this season, Everton host bottom of the table Leicester City. For both sides today, it's about finishing on a high. There's nothing major riding on the result apart from pride and momentum heading into the summer, although Leicester will have one eye firmly on next weekend's relegation playoff against Charlton Athletic at the Valley. A huge game which will determine whether they remain in the Barclays Women's Super League next season. Everton, meanwhile, will want to give their supporters something to cheer about after another difficult and inconsistent campaign. Both sides have endured challenging seasons and will be desperate for one final positive result. Leicester's form in particular has been alarming. Every league game they have played in 2026 has ended in defeat. Goal scoring hasn't really been a forte either, having never scored more than once in a game this season. Also, uncertainty surrounding both dugouts. This could potentially be the final time we see either manager in charge of their respective clubs. And so every team in action this afternoon, with all matches kicking off at 1 o'clock. Brighton hosts Tottenham Hotspur. Manchester United travel to Chelsea, while here it's Everton against Leicester City. Arsenal can secure second place with at least a point against Liverpool. London City Lionesses take on Aston Villa, and Manchester City, already confirmed as champions, round off their title-winning season at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. So this is how the table looks heading into the final day. Manchester City wrapped up the title last week. Arsenal sit second and are aiming to confirm automatic qualification for next season's UEFA Women's Champions League, with Chelsea just 2 points behind them. Manchester United will miss out on Champions League football next season, while Spurs are currently best of the rest in fifth. Brighton are just behind them and still have an FA Cup final to come later this month. Towards the bottom, London City Lionesses are just above Everton and Aston Villa, who are level on 20 points. West Ham sit 1 point further back, Liverpool below them, and then Leicester City at the foot of the table, confirmed for the relegation playoff against Charlton next Saturday at the Valley. So 2 Everton greats have been inducted into the Everton Women Hall of Fame this week. First, treble winner Becky Easton, a long-serving defender who joined the club from Liverpool in 1997 and went on to become a Women's Premier League champion in her very first season at Everton. Alongside her, Lindsay Johnson, a commanding centre-back who enjoyed more than a decade of outstanding service at the club and helped Everton lift 2 major cup trophies during her time on Merseyside. 2 more icons given their deserved flowers, Becky Easton and Lindsay Johnson, inducted into the club's Hall of Fame. Before kick-off, we can hear from both camps. Everton interim manager Scott Phelan and Leicester City boss Rick Passmore have been speaking with Carl Walker.
Scott, the final game of the season, another chance to gain 3 points. 3 changes coming into the match today. How are you feeling coming into this one?
Really excited. We're happy always to be playing at home. So the fact that it's the end of the season as well, hopefully we can finish positively. That is the idea. Obviously, we made a few changes to freshen things up. We only had a game on Wednesday. That was a quick turnaround. So the idea was more around bringing some energy to the team as opposed to performance level. So hopefully then players can come in and push the others and make sure that we finish with a win.
Can you give us some insight into what you said to the team coming into this one? What a season it's been at Goodison, the first season here. Hopefully you can finish it on a high.
Well, definitely the plan to finish on a high. It's probably been a little bit up and down in terms of the whole season, which we know for obvious reasons. But the fact that we get to play here every other week or so is brilliant. And we want to make sure that we enjoy our last opportunity to play here this season.
Talk to me about preparations for today and for next week, because not much game time, I should say, this month, but you've got so many, you've got so much riding on this game next week especially. How are you making sure the players are fit and ready to come into this one today?
We've done a little bit of rotation in terms of not only today, but obviously the 3 games we had in 1 week to make sure that we've got a full selection available in terms of the fitness and the workload. But we're prepping in terms of every day we'll have a phase of play that is all to do with the tactics, but everything's around behaviours, everything's around the culture and the mindset to move forward, not only in today, but into next week as well.
What do you want to see from this team today? What type of performance do you want?
Individually, do the basics really well. Do the basics really well, earn the right to play, utilise the ball in the right areas by either getting hold of the game in their half, keep the opposition in their half, rotate the ball round, circulate it, but win your 1v1s and earn the right to play.
Both managers, Rick Passmore and Scott Phelan, with Carl Walker, and a reward for the best performing grassroots team in the area. The kids have come down to watch Everton's last home game in charge at Goodison Park, a chance for them to be pitch sides. And what a treat for me as well on the final day. Tash Dowie is alongside me. Welcome, a short journey for you for a change.
Yeah, not too bad, not like yours. Little 20-minute drive, but yeah, great to be here today, and I'm really looking forward to this game.
Yeah, the statistics don't really make for a great reading for either of these sides this season. On paper, you might think it has all the ingredients to be a little bit of a stinker, but hopefully there's some entertainment.
Yeah, there absolutely is. I think for Leicester, with regards to a massive playoff game next Saturday, you know, don't want any injuries, need to obviously build that momentum. And then for Everton, I think of it's finishing on a high. You know, they've had a little bit of an inconsistent season, but last game at home, give the fans something to really cheer about.
There's also a bit of uncertainty around the two managers. This could be the final time we see either of them in charge of the clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Rick Passmore is someone that's been there right from the beginning, someone that I've played against many times, knows the league inside out. And, you know, it obviously hasn't been able to, well, he's got one more game to try and keep them up in this league. I think as well for Scott Phelan, he's come in at a difficult time. Everton are a team that are a little bit inconsistent for me, and you know, they've finished I think the last 3 seasons in 8th position, so it's how now they can kick on and really try and improve in the league.
We can see the two teams making their way out at Goodison Park. For Everton, you can just see there Tony Payne walking out with Mas Pacheco's partner's nan this afternoon. What a moment for her, and the friends and family, and Hannah Blundell walking out with her 14-month child, Romy, as well on the final day. For Everton, though, a little bit of a frustrated season. Currently sit 8th, which is exactly where they finished in each of the last 2 seasons. So the big question is, how do they kind of take that next step? How do they bridge that gap?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think with regards to where they're training now, the professionalism there, they've signed some good players this season. I think the big question mark is keeping their key players. You know, I see again Gargo's on the bench. There's been a lot of talk about her off the pitch and her uncertainty of whether she stays or not. But realistically, it's about squad depth. And I think with regards to that, Everton have to improve the squad depth and have to add competition throughout the team.
3 changes then for Everton in their final game at Goodison Park. Aurora Galley, Yuka Mamiki come into midfield, while Ornella Vignola, who scored the opener in the reverse fixture against Leicester City, starts in attack alongside Tony Payne and Zara Kramjar. Just the one change for Leicester City. Olivia McLaughlin comes into the side in place of Chantal Swaby, who is on the bench. Captain Sam Tierney will look to dictate play from midfield, while Hannah Kane and leading goal scorer Shannon O'Brien spearhead the attack. There is no Alicia Lehman and Ashley Neville in the squad. So for Everton, Martina Fernandez, summer signing from Barcelona, played nearly every minute of her debut season. A fantastic player, Tash.
Yeah, absolutely that. Yeah, she's been a standout for me. You know, 2 goals, 2 assists, really clean on the ball, defensively strong, technically really good. And again, I spoke about how can Everton kick on. Well, with regards to, they've got to keep players like her. I think them 2 in particular, her and Mace, have been solid at the back, a real threat from set pieces.
So a big centre-back at the back for Everton today. For Leicester, a bit of a bright spark in their misery of a campaign. Shannon O'Brien leads the line with Hannah Kane, but O'Brien, top goal scorer, looking for her 7th today.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I think when we talk about the Leicester team now and the threats that they're going to have, it's definitely the 2 up top with Hannah Kane and O'Brien. Pace to burn, will constantly look to stretch that Everton back line, will look to play off the back shoulder. 5 goals, you know, in a team that are in the relegation battle and in that kind of playoff game. That's good stats to have, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her and how she can impact and help Leicester survive in the league.
Well, that is the big question. That big relegation playoff battle is next Saturday against Charlton at the Valley. 12:30 kickoff for that. But it's all eyes on Goodison Park. The final league game of the season underway for Everton and Leicester City. An opportunity to sign off with a positive performance and perhaps a little bit of optimism heading into the summer. But for Leicester, maybe a warm-up game for that relegation playoff battle. And immediately, Everton are on the attack. Kitagawa swings it in, far post, headed on by Ale. And cleared up by Leicester, but immediate pressure from the home side, Tash.
Yeah, absolutely that, and I think that's what you want. Within the first kind of couple of minutes, can you look to try and get crosses into the box? Can you look to try and get possession, you know, high up in Leicester's defensive half, and Everton straight away have been able to do that.
What is it like playing on the final day, Tash? Have you kind of booked your holidays already? There's a Hawaiian shirt in the bag, ready to go.
Well, when I was playing, it was always for titles, so absolutely not that. It was pressure was on. I think for Everton, potentially. For Leicester, absolutely not. You know, they've got a huge playoff game next Saturday, so it's about not getting injuries and actually putting in a solid performance today.
A chance to finish the season on a high in front of their home fans. Push on for next season. Here's Blundell. Mamiki. And back with one of the WSL nominee player of the season, Ruby Mace, who is another player in defence for Everton who has had a fantastic season.
Yeah, absolutely. That plays beyond her years with regards to the maturity in the way that she plays. Is brave, wants to get on the ball, both-footed. You can always tell the leadership that she has, constantly talking. Very important player for Everton.
Down the flanks to Vignola, who scored in the reverse fixture. She swings it back in. Finds Tierney, though. Leicester City captain in Galley, and then Mace.
Bit surprising that Everton are able to get such early crosses into the box, especially with Leicester playing this back 5. A little bit too easy. I think for Everton as well, just seeing Gali there, someone that I played against when I was over at AC Milan. She was at Juventus. Such an experienced player, you know, so I think to have her back from injury as well in that midfield, she'll be looking to have a good pre-season under her belt and then be a big player for them next year.
Kane. Everton regain possession though in midfield. Hayashi loses it, and now Shannon O'Brien, Tierney. Dig ball up, finds the head of Kane.
Yeah, high foot there. I think it was Kane. Kane was in a little bit of disbelief of how high Fernandez actually got her foot. I think it's the correct decision there by the referee. Gali looks a little bit bemused, but fair play to Kane as well. She was quite brave with regards to actually going for the ball. You can see here it's bouncing. Yeah, and she's caught her in the chest there. So really dangerous position now for Leicester, just outside the edge of the box.
And a big opportunity early on here, inside 5 minutes. And really, with the way they've been playing, they've never scored more than 1 goal in a game this season. They've got to take full advantage of this.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a worrying stat, isn't it? When I saw only 11 goals this season, conceded 51. But Van Egmond is definitely a player that can work the keeper in this position.
So it's Emily Van Egmond who eyes up the shot. Blocked immediately by the blue wall of Everton, though. Back to the Australian. Kane.
It's quite interesting as well just to see how high Van Ekman actually is playing. She's almost in kind of like a false 9 role. So it's like a 3 up front.
Janssen has to get control of this. Mamiki, and now Everton are through. Vignola hits the back of Keys. Oh, what an end-to-end game we've had so far. Hannah Kane picks it up. Driving at Kitagawa, manages to swing it across, but it's gone through everyone. Ale on the far side. Back into the box, Mace with a header up into the air. O'Brien. McLaughlin. The only change for Rick Passmore today. But it is worth a note, Tash, that there is no Alicia Lehman, no Ashley Neville in the squad today, and you wonder whether you might be saving those players for the big game next week.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. It's a risk v reward. You know, do you want players to get injured? Absolutely not. But I also think players want to have touches. Players want to be playing games to kind of build that momentum and get the feel of the ball. So I would want to be playing today if that was me.
Mailing. Leg not quite long enough to keep that in, the Aston Villa loanee. For Scott Phelan, of course, an interim manager still at Everton, and you wonder whether this could be his last game in charge, whether the club find a replacement, a permanent manager in the summer. As Blundell comes forwards, here's Tony Payne, who walked out with Maz Pacheco's partner's nan today. What a moment for her, as Payne swoops it across, and Keane has to get a glove to it to tap it over the crossbar. That might have been heading in.
Yeah, absolutely that. And we talk about key players. Payne is one of those. So positive, you know, wants to go 1v1. Was it a cross/shot? I think it was definitely a cross that she's maybe got wrong, but she's tested the keeper there. And if I'm believed to right, you told me her debut was only a couple of games ago against Arsenal. So, you know, credit to her, only 19 years of age.
Yeah, came on at half-time against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. A big debut for her. She's been in goal ever since. There's Mamiki. Headed out by Leicester for now. There is no goalkeeper on the bench for Leicester, so that's a big, big position that she has to fill today. Galley. Back out to Payne. Keys was calling for it. I think she wanted that. And then Van Egmond.
I think Leicester just need to be a little bit more patient. You know, they've got the 2 players up front that have pace to burn, in O'Brien and Kane, but Van Ekman there, you know, trying to force it too much. You know, has to be able to hold on to the ball for a couple more seconds and then allow the players to then make the runs.
That run was made by Vignola, but booted out by Sarri Keys. Joint leading goal scorer, Vignola.
Yeah, Everton are playing a little bit more direct, I think, with Cramyard playing up front. Normally, I feel like they're a little bit more patient. They want to play out. They want to play through the thirds. But I think probably with that target player, they're maybe looking to be a bit more direct.
Just caught her foot there. Kitagawa. So a free kick and a set piece for Everton. Mace, nice delivery in, headed out by Ale. Sam Tierney. And out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Mace there looking for Fernandez. We've seen that many a times this season, that back post run. You know, she's a constant threat, so strong in the air. Definitely Everton's strongest player in the air. But credit to Leicester, they defended that really well.
Rick Passmore in charge of Leicester City for now, one of the OGs, formerly of Notts County women back in the day. He emphasised mentality in his pre-match interview with Carl Walker. I mean, that is going to be huge for them. They've got to travel down to London next week and put on a big performance there.
Yeah, and I don't think they could have a better manager on the sideline, to be honest. Someone that really has worked with some of the top players in the WSL right from the beginning. And also, he mentioned a lot, earning the right to play. I think that's really important.
Mace finds Payne well on that far side, into Mamiki. Van Egmond sliding tackle, gives away that foul on Galley.
Yeah, it's unlike Van Egmond, to be honest. She's an experienced player, and for me, that's a silly challenge to be given away in a dangerous area. They've just conceded one a minute ago, and really there, she's never winning the ball. So it gives Everton another opportunity, and we know how good Mamiki is. She's scored plenty of free kicks from this type of position. She's got a wand of a left foot, so I'm sure she'll be looking to go for goal from here.
She's their joint leading goal scorer, Yuka Mamiki, having signed from Leicester City in the summer, so against her former club today. Mamiki eyes up the shots, and it's just wide. It sent Katie Keane flying. What a great opportunity for Everton, what a strike.
Oh, it's a great effort, it really is. And I fancied her from there. She's got great whip, and it's inches away. She almost was looking as if the keeper had got a touch, but I don't think she does. I mean, that really is inches away. It's a great effort there. She gets it up and over the wall. The keeper does get a touch. She absolutely does get a touch. The lino has to see that. Great save by Keane. No wonder she's going mad. I mean, that's poor refereeing to not see that.
Malin. Keys. Kane with some room now. First time cross in. Nobody in the box. Finds Ruby Mace instead. Kitagawa. Mamiki. Quick thinking from Brosnan. It is so nervy when they play out from the back. Mamiki. And Kitagawa.
I think that's where Everton as a team really have come on though this season with regards to the braveness to play out from the back. At times, it absolutely is a little bit nervy, but they're brave enough and then they work their way out of tight situations. And also want to highlight and credit the two forwards so far for Leicester. The way that they've been running the channels and finding those spaces in between the fullback and the centre half, they're a constant threat.
They have won 8 out of their 10 home games here at Goodison Park this season, which is a good stat. Bring them a lot of confidence as Payne tries to wiggle her way through. Mace. Galley, nice ball forward. Can Mamiki get there? Keys has to defend and pokes it out for a throw.
Yeah, just a little bit of miscommunication there from the centre half of the goalkeeper. Keeper's come out looking to clear it. I mean, the defender does well to clear that, but I think Everton have to highlight that. Keep testing, keep playing in behind, because like I said, only 2 games in, there's going to be a lack of communication between probably the centre halves and the goalkeeper.
The referee today is Alice Parker, a former Norwich City and West Ham left-back, before trying to make a name in officiating.
That's cool.
And she's just going to have a word with Hannah Blundell, who gets us back and off and underway. Fernandez. Mace has to chase this, just about manages to keep it in. Payne, Blundell. Turned over again, and now Leicester City, can they pounce? Keane calls for calm from her back line. Kane. Shrugging off Fernandez there. And again, it's a miscommunication with Van Egmond and Malin.
Yeah, that's loose by Van Egmond, and frustrating, you can see that. Kane's done brilliant, holds up really well, turns, keeps possession, and then it's a one-touch loose ball.
This was that big chance for Leicester. Brosnan with a toe poke, quick reactions from her to clear that of goal.
A little bit of feistiness there as well going on between, I think it was Vignola and one of the Leicester defenders.
Fernandez, Mace.
Never understand that. You know, Everton have been such a threat on set pieces. They're in another good position where they can get the ball into the box, and instead they go short and then end up, you know, goal kick, nothing comes from it. I'm all for mixing it up and going short to then look to deliver, but that to me was not a well-worked free kick at all for them.
Well, the rain is pouring down in Merseyside as Keane sends it up. Van Egmond. We can see that Everton are just slightly dominating possession. They've had the better of the runs, a bit more momentum than Leicester, but you'd expect that being at home at Goodison Park.
Yeah, absolutely that. I think they're overloading the midfield as well, outnumbering Leicester in that position. But too many times for both teams, that's another prime example. You know, players looking to play off one touch rather than looking to control the ball and play, and it's been pretty sloppy from both teams, to be honest. And I mean, for me, there should be no nerves. You know, Leicester have a massive game next weekend, and that's when the nerves should be there. But, you know, this is the type of game where you can just express yourself. And, you know, at home for Everton,
Fernandez, and the champions, Manchester City, are 1 goal up at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. Jade Rose, who has bundled it in to give City the lead there. It is still goalless here. Still waiting to find a little bit of flow, little bit of momentum from these two sides.
yeah, I think Sam Tierney as well is going to be key for that. The number 3 holding mid for Leicester, someone that I played with the Doncaster Bells when she was a young kid, but captain now. And she's going to be vital with regards to getting on the ball, dictating the play, you know, making sure when to speed up the play, when to slow it down.
And also mentality in this squad as well, being the captain and being the position that Leicester are in.
Absolutely that, you know, the passion to wear the badge, you know, and I think she is someone that's been at the club for a while now, you know, and players like that are invaluable with regards to that. So yeah, she is someone that will play with her heart on her sleeve. She'll never stop. She'll put in the big tackles, and they need to get into good habits. I think Rick Passmore said that in this game. You know, you can't just turn it on. So if you don't perform today, then you're going to probably struggle come next weekend.
Mailing's in some room now. Tierney. Mailing through to Kane. And now Everton on the counter. Tony Payne hasn't scored in the WSL this season, Tony Payne. And it's good defending in the end from Julie Thibault.
Great defending by Thibault. I mean, when you've got Payne running at you with pace, no defender likes that. But what I love is she gets sideways on. You know, she doesn't look to step in and sell herself, keeps her going down the line to then try and create the shot there, and that's really good one-on-one defending, front foot as well.
So another set piece for Leicester to defend, headed up and over, cleared for now. Little bit of a scruff in the box. Hayashi sends it back in, hits the back of Ale though, and Blundell looking to recycle. Spots the run of Fernandez, controls it in the box, out to Vignola. Sent back in. Thibault again with the defensive work, out for another corner.
Yeah, well worked by Everton. Onto the second balls, recycled it really well. Mamiki again with the left foot, whipping it in. And Thibault positioning herself really well to obviously clear that. Credit to Leicester. They're defending really well in this first 20 minutes.
So they're going to have to do this again. It's high this time. Headed on by Kramjar. Hayashi. Fernandez. Keane making herself big. Good punch from the young goalkeeper. Still in though here for Everton. Vignola deflected. Ale can pick up, clear. Out for another throw, the pressure continues.
Yeah, it is. Good goalkeeping as well. I could hear Keane from there calling for it. She's brave. She comes through her two defenders and gets a really solid punch. It's a decent ball in, back in by Fernandez. You can see there it's strong. And then allows her team to pick up the second balls. Impressed with what I've seen so far. This is the first time I've watched her live. So yeah, she's done really well first 20 minutes, communicating constantly.
So it was only her first start in their last game against Chelsea. So she's played against two of the big four, Arsenal and Chelsea, and now it's Everton on the final day. She did spend half the season on loan at Sheffield United, only featured twice for them though. So a big call-up for her in the top flight. Out to Mace.
This is better by Everton, though. No, just bouncing the ball around, 1-2 touch, allowing players to get the feel of the ball.
Arsenal are ahead at Anfield as well. Just the one goal so far. Stina Blackstenius, 21 minutes in. The breakthrough has gone Arsenal's way. Of course, looking to secure second spot. A point is all they need for automatic qualification of the Champions League next season. Here, nothing really to play for in terms of league position or anything next season. It's next Saturday that Leicester are concerned about, and they play Charlton at the Valley in that playoff relegation scrap. Here is Mailing.
That's a the one thing I would say Leicester have struggled with a little bit, when they've got the width through the fullbacks, it's a big ask then for the likes of Kane and O'Brien to get across, and at times Mailing needs the support quicker.
Here she is again. Run out of play. Thibaut, strong. Tierney, looking for options, out to Mailing. Offside flag, stay down for now. Mailing, she's got it all wrong. Over the crossbar, over the byline, goal kick.
Yeah, that's wasteful, and for someone of her quality as well, that's been around the league for a long time, she finds herself in acres of space, and there's bodies in the box as well. You can see she's trying to get some whip on it, but yeah, the technique is all wrong there, and those are moments in the game we talk about the lack of scoring goals in this team, and yeah, I think you can probably see why with regards to that. You know, the number 9s, they have to have a better supply than that.
Brosnan. Field to Kramjar, and Keys has got her arm around Kramjar's neck.
Oh, wow. I'm not sure that's a foul the other way. I mean, for me, it's a good 50-50 battle. You know, as a centre-forward that loved that as well, the centre-half, getting touch tight, but I can't see how the referee has blown it the other way.
Hayashi picks her up. Vignola spinning away from Tierney in midfield, and McLaughlin has to come in for support. Van Egmond. Mailing. Kane.
And again, I find that frustrating because they played into Kane. Van Egmond's got it, they've broke the line, and then she's gone all the way back and unbroke the line. And you can see Kane's frustration there.
A little bit of a spell, though, for Leicester here. O'Brien onto Van Egmond, and now Ale on the far side. Options flooding back. Still with Ale in the box, trying to get something on it, and Hayashi is there dispossessed. But a throw and positive signs for Leicester.
Yeah, that was lovely. Really nice 1-2 touch. Van Egmond heavily involved in that. And I think then for Ale, it's a case of actually just believing in herself a little bit more. When she's in that 1v1 situation, have a go. Or then, if not, deliver early. But it was almost like she didn't know what to do with the ball.
They haven't been in that position often, Leicester, this season. And that wasted by Everton. Maybe headed out for a corner.
Yeah, Momiki there with a header, but a header that she could have absolutely headed out up the pitch or for a throw-in, and instead she's headed out for a corner. So big opportunity for Leicester here.
So Sam Tierney with a matching headband to her kit today. Fantastic planning.
Surrounding the keeper here as well, you can see numbers, you know, making that hard for Brosnan to come out and dominate her area.
And Alex Parker, the referee, very firm. Just making sure everything is in the right position. Tierney swings it in at the near post! Across the face of goal. I thought that was heading in. And the flag is up. It's going to be a goal kick. And I think that's Ruby Mace who is down, but it was Sari Keys with the header.
Yeah, it was a great corner. Really good delivery. In swinger into the near post here. And I actually think it came off Mace, if I'm being honest. I think Keys has put the pressure on her there, but I think it's Mace that actually gets a really good defensive flick on. So the referee's got that one wrong.
That would have been her first goal for the club, Sari Keys, if she had put that in the back of the net. Kitagawa. Kramjar.
great centre-forward play, love that. Gets touched high, we call it the low grab, where you've pinned the centre-half, referee can't see it, and she's been able to roll the centre-half, dictates the play and wins her team a foul.
Just approaching the half-an-hour mark, still 0-0 here at Goodison Park, but positive signs from both teams, as Payne has to let that bounce to control. Blundell. O'Brien. Quick down that wing, Shannon O'Brien. Keeps it in. No pink shirts in the area though. Still with it. What a run from Shannon O'Brien, and she's calling for the corner. The referee says it's a goal kick.
I mean, what a run that was, by the way. And Blundell isn't slow, by the way. She is quick, and she's without the football. You know, and O'Brien still goes past her. I actually thought she had done enough to win her team a corner. I'd have loved to have seen that back and to see just how close that was. But credit to her here. Look at the way she touches across Blundell. And I thought she just got enough. I mean, it's hard to see there because Macy's covering. It does look like maybe she just runs it out, but yeah, credit to her. They're really positive play.
Van Egmond, Kane, now Mailing. Tierney. Corner.
Yeah, the pressure's on now. I think both teams have had momentum within the game, but right now Leicester are definitely on top. They're creating some nice overloads in these wide areas in the 2v1s. Got good bodies into the box as well. It's just trying to get that final delivery. That's what they're missing at the moment.
Tierney again, on the right-hand side this time. Again, this time middle of the park, Thibault! And it's off target. Tierney. Kane. O'Brien! How has Brosnan kept that out? Wow, what a great save. Touches it off the post and just about manages to keep that out.
I mean, it's a top save. We've seen this many times. It's a lovely ball in. And O'Brien here with the turn and spin. I mean, she thinks it's a goal, but that is brilliant. Well done, Brosnan.
Well, she's got to do it again here. Another set piece of different play. Kane this time, Brosnan comes out, makes herself big, takes out about 2 players in that too, and all the way back to Leicester City and Katie Keane.
Yeah, I spoke to her, didn't I, about when I saw her warming up before the game and how I think she's one of the best keepers in the league, to be honest. Brosnan is so consistent.
More tests here for her though. Fernandez covers for now, and Hayashi sees it out for a throw.
I think Rick Passmore can be really pleased with regards to how Leicester have been able to get in some really dangerous areas. I think it literally is the final end product, which at times can be frustrating, but they've worked it really well at moments. Here's the opportunity again. I love the way that she turns in one. You know, as a centre forward, you can't do any more there. It's just an incredible save by Brosnan.
At full stretch. And keeps her side in this. Keane boots that forwards, and there's been another goal at Anfield. Arsenal have scored a second. Mariana Caldente this time on the final day. 2-0 up against Liverpool. Kane through the flanks again. A little bit too much on it that time into Brosnan and Mace.
Yeah, I think that's when you know your players. If that's a Kane or an O'Brien running in behind, absolutely look to play that ball. Van Egmond, she doesn't want that. She wants it to feet. So that's kind of just recognising the strength of the players.
And another update in the Chelsea-Manchester United game. Have a guess who scored this touchdown for Chelsea?
Sam Kerr.
Of course it is. It had to be. Sam Kerr, on her final appearance for Chelsea, has scored the opener at Stamford Bridge.
She will be missed very much.
Here, though, still waiting for the opening goal. Been fairly level. Leicester very much hot on the pressure, though. Vignola. Kitagawa. Cramjar feeding it through. Keys has to see it out. Ale and now McLaughlin.
Oh, what a shame Cramjar couldn't bring that down. It's a lovely run and a great pick out on the way Everton worked that, but just a touch let her down there.
Nice. For Rick Passmore, positive signs from his side. Do you think he'll be pleased with how the opening 35 minutes has gone?
Yeah, he absolutely will be. And it will be more for me, the organisation. They've looked strong in their structure. They've been patient with the press.
And they're on the attack again here. Mailing. Kane, eyes up, shots. And it's wide again. But again, still this pressure. They keep going.
Yeah, they absolutely do it. She hits it well. It's a clean strike. It's just a shame it can't be on target there, but credit to her. If you don't shoot, you don't score. And it's a great area, good touch, and it is a clean hit. But it's going to have to be something special to beat Brosnan from there. But yeah, just with regards to that, I think the structure with the back five, Van Egmond, you know, pressing high with the front two, they've looked really comfortable, to be honest. I think really Everton haven't troubled them too much. And this is probably something that we're going to look to see come next week against Charlton.
Yeah, that is a big game next Saturday. Of course, the first of its kind with the restructuring of the league.
Which you're covering as well. An exciting one for you.
It will be, yeah. What a treat for everyone listening. You can hear my voice again. Next Saturday at the Valley, 12:30 kickoff. Charlton against Leicester City. Of course, Birmingham City and Crystal Palace already promoted. But 3 teams up from the WSL2 and only 1 down from the top flight. Growing the game, which is a good sign, Tash.
Absolutely growing the game. From when I was playing in the league, there was only 8 teams. So I think it is. It adds more competition, more games is what everyone wants.
Here is O'Brien again. Quick feet back to Van Egmond. McLaughlin. And Janssen. Thibault. Ale. Janssen. Into Mailing. Scott Phelan, his side's been under it in recent moments. Being pressured from the back, but a big challenge from Ruby Mace again. Wins it back for Everton. Yeah,
I'd be surprised if there maybe aren't a few changes come half-time or early on in the second half. They haven't been at their best. And I think when you have players like Gago on the bench, you know, you want to see those players play, and she can cause, in my opinion, a bit more of a threat than what they've been able to show this first half.
A slip from McLaughlin. Everton wanting to pounce on this. Payne. Well, Leicester are trying to level up the possession. They've certainly had the better of the chances in recent moments and have had more spells of play too. And you can see that in terms of the shots as well.
Yeah, you can see they're trying to draw Everton up the pitch. Sam Tierney's kind of pulling out into this right back kind of position from midfield. And they're looking to try and bring Everton higher up the pitch and then look to then hit the two number 9s. I just think there's a time and a place. You know, just got to be careful that they don't overplay and get caught in the wrong areas.
Keane. Oh, a strike from range, hits the crossbar. Kramjar opened up for her and she went for it. And now Leicester City on the counter. Mailing, Kane. Tierney. Out to O'Brien, and now Ale on the far sides. O'Brien. Booted away by Ghali.
Oh, what a hit by Kramjar that was. Again, there's nothing more she can do. She thinks that's in all day long. So unlucky, and then credit to Leicester to go back down the other end with such pace. It really has, even though there's been no goals, it's been a pretty entertaining first half. I think at times both teams have played well and have come close to going 1-0 up. But credit to Brosnan with her save, tipping onto the post, and there, the post denying Kramjar.
So it is a goal fest at Anfield. One-way traffic. Arsenal have scored a third. Alessia Russo this time in her best ever season in an Arsenal shirt. Fantastic season for her, but here comes Toni Payne for Everton, still looking for her first WSL goal of the season. In support, Hannah Blundell, Hayashi.
T-Bone hasn't put a foot wrong first half. She has been solid at the back for Leicester. Reading things, stepping in, front foot. Betty Kramjar, we see her chance here again. She turns lovely. I mean, what a hit that is. I mean, all she probably needs a little bit, ultra critical. She's hit it with her laces. If she's got a little bit more whip on that with the inside of her boot, then that comes back in. But no, it's a decent effort there.
The first Slovenian in the WSL, club record fee she signed for in January. Mamiki sends this in, Keys with the boot away, further on by Ale. McLaughlin. Tierney. Looking for the right pass, dinked out wide to Mailing. Back into the captain.
Oh, Tierney's just made a great run there that Mailing hasn't seen. And again, it is just that final ball. They're working it into great areas, but it is just the final execution, the final pass, the decision-making. This first half, that's probably let both teams down, to be honest.
Two minutes of normal time to go in this first half. In what has been an entertaining first half. Mamiki, a tug down by Tierney, and the first yellow card of the game goes to the Leicester captain.
Yeah, it's a little bit naughty. And Sam saying it's her first one, but it is a naughty one. It's a great turn by Mamiki there on the half turn. Literally takes it with her back foot, and then she's away. You can see here, it's lovely. And we call it a professional foul. I mean, yeah, she's tugged her back. Maybe Sam saying, like, give me a couple of extra chances, but no, I mean, it's the correct decision.
Back to her feet. Looks to be in a little bit of pain here, hobbling away.
Yeah, for me, it didn't look that bad, but maybe she's fallen awkwardly, and that's someone that Everton definitely don't want to be losing. She's been one of their standout players this season.
Can score some wonder goals too from range. Hayashi, Blundell. Ale, Tierney. Does well through midfields. Support with Ale.
The official has indicated there will be a minimum of 1 minute.
1 minute of added time. Gali wants to take this quickly.
I mean, 0-0, I'm just looking down at my stats. No clean sheet in 5 for Everton. No clean sheet in 11 for Leicester. So I'd be very surprised if we see a second half with no goals.
I hope so, for our sake anyway. Kramjar through to Vignola. Now it's a foot race. Keys gets there first. And that is it, half-time. Goalless at the break, but there's certainly been some massive opportunities on both sides. Courtney Brosnan keeping her side in this from that fantastic strike from Shannon O'Brien, but a sublime save. And then down the other end, Kramjar, which rattled the crossbar, testing Katie Keane, but at the break, it is Everton 0, Leicester City 0. For the two second players coming back out. That kid's a cool scarf, a snake scarf around his.
Ooh, that's a bit scary. I don't like snakes. Not a fan.
So, Kramjar with the best opportunity, really, for Everton in that first half. Hitting the crossbar. Only signed in January on loan, Zara Kramjar. Deadline day signing from Roma. So this is her last appearance for Everton, unless, of course, they come to another agreement.
Yeah, which I'm sure they'll want to. You know, she's a player that probably hasn't played as much as she would have liked, but from what I've seen today, it's different to what they've got, especially if they are going to lose a Gargo. You know, she is more of a old-school number 9 that wants the ball to feed, wants to hold play up, and they don't have many options like that.
For Leicester City, there is a substitute at half-time, and the player on is Jutta Rantala, who only played her first goal since first game since coming back from injury last time out. Played 12 minutes against Chelsea. She's back on for the full second half, who can also strike one from range. So one substitution for Rick Passmore. What do you think he would have been saying to his side at half-time?
Same again. You know, I think that they've looked really strong in certain areas, but for me now it's just that final ball, the patience, the ice-cool head, the decision-making when they get it out wide, when to cross, when not to cross, and then believing in themselves a little bit more. And that's tough, you know, when you're in the position that they're in, when they haven't scored that many goals, it's hard to then just switch that on. But like I said, earning the right to play, I think they've done that in the first half.
Put the pressure on early. And now it's Everton's turn to show people what they've got. Tierney, though, dispossessed Mamiki, and a big sliding tackle to poke that out for a throw.
Yeah, so it looks as if Rantala has replaced Van Egmond. You know, she had bright moments in the first half, but at times also a little bit sloppy for her. And also, are they thinking towards next weekend? You never know, she's an experienced player.
Well, it's an attacking substitution. Rantala is traditionally a striker. Here is Vignola though, nice switch of play from the home sides. Plucked out by Mailing, squared back into McLaughlin.
Oh, that's such a shame because the bodies, the blue bodies that were busting the gut to support Vignola there, really poor by her to not be able to create more in that situation.
O'Brien just about manages to get that into the box, but no pink shirts lurking there. And so out to Blundell. Ramiki just helps it on. Foul by Mace.
That's actually quite clever by Kane. Initially, I was wondering why she's not challenging for the ball with Mace, but actually, she almost kind of like held off, allowed Mace to control the ball and then snuck in and won a team a foul here. Mace looks to bring it down and then she gets a nice little nick there.
Tierney. Mace sees it away only as far as Rantala. Here's Thibault. McLaughlin. We can't end the final day on a 0-0, surely, Tash.
No, we won't. Positive vibes. But again, you know, credit to Leicester. First couple of minutes into this second half, they're in Everton's half, which is exactly what you want.
And here is that fresh substitute, just to Rantala. O'Brien can't quite get her feet right, and now here is Kramjar. And wins the foul in midfield too.
I think the exciting thing, you know, hopefully for us as well, is there's strong benches, you know, so normally, yes, you see the changes at half-time that's been made, one already, but come the 60-minute mark, that's when you'll probably see both managers looking to freshen things up, giving players opportunities to get some minutes today. And there are, like I said, some, especially for me, I look straight away at the attacking threats, and both teams have them.
Looks like he's heard you, Scott Phelan. Writing down maybe some substitutes to come on. You can see Maz Pacheco there coming out to warm up, who was one of his changes to the starting 11 today. Vignola, twisting away round, does really well. Vignola, eyes the shot, straight to the gloves of Keane, but it's a shot and it's an opportunity for Everton.
Yeah, I was going to say, Vignola's been quite quiet in the first half. I don't know whether I prefer her in a bit more of a central position, but this was really nice. You know, looking to cut in, you could tell straight away she was going to take the shot on. Is it a bit too far out? But I don't mind the effort. You know, she's done all the hard work, and she deserves to get that effort off. But it's quite a comfortable save by Keane in goal.
Here is Ale down the other end for Leicester. Tierney. You can see what they're trying to do, Leicester.
You absolutely can. And I think that's where probably the more these players play together, them kind of combinations will come off. But I think the top players, and this is why, and this is no disrespect to Leicester, probably why they are where they are with regards to that little bit of extra quality. You know, it shows, you know, in moments like this on the ball.
Yeah, a big summer coming up, no matter what the result is next Saturday for the club. Here come Leicester again though, Rantala, pickpocketed by Hayashi, still with it.
Yeah, you really do hope for Leicester's sake, with obviously the men struggling as well, that, you know, they don't almost get punished. You know, you've seen it so many times within the women's game. I was at Reading when that happened. So I think probably even puts even more pressure on them to look to win that playoff game to actually stay up in the league, because if not, I think it could be worrying times.
was the foul given against Everton.
I didn't really see much in that, if I'm being completely honest.
And now Rentala swings this in, far post, over everyone, and another opportunity wasted for the visitors.
Yeah, I think as well, we're probably guilty as spectators of wanting to see goals and creative play, but actually sometimes you can almost praise the defensive side of the game. Now we're 0-0 at the moment, neither team has conceded, and actually, you know, you've got to maybe then give credit to the goalkeepers, to the back fours, you know, because actually I think defensively both teams have looked really strong today. We still want goals though.
Yeah, speaking of goals, Tash, elsewhere Brighton have scored at home to Tottenham Hotspur. Madison Haley with the opener there.
They're flying at the moment, Brighton. Really are having a strong end to the season.
I think that means we're the only 0-0 now.
Ouch. I'm having fun.
Here's Tierney. Into the box, headed up by Thibaut, out by Mace. Rantala, a shove off on Hayashi, and it's too strong, deems the referee, Alice Parker.
I do think the ref could actually help the game though a little bit. I think there are times where she could let it flow a little bit better.
Handful of substitutes for Everton warming up. They've got a strong bench. They have a goalkeeper on their bench, where we mentioned in the first half, Leicester don't. 2 injured goalkeepers in Olivia Clark and Janina Leitzig.
Yeah, you don't like to see that, to be honest. I think we talk about where the women's game's gone and how far the league has come, but that to me is quite poor, to be honest, to only have 1 keeper available, and yeah, you don't like to see that. It's a good header there. I can't really see much wrong with that foul there. Fernandez has got up well. She's headed it cleanly. Maybe caught her in the back of the head a little bit. And she is there with her, being very apologetic, which is nice to see. Nice sportsmanship. And this is worrying as well for Leicester with regards to O'Brien being probably one of their key players, top goal scorer this season. Rick Passmore will be hoping that she's okay. It's not a head injury with regards to, you know, obviously missing her then next week, but it does look as if they are looking at her head.
Yeah, of course, they'll take time here. Do take head injuries seriously. And it will give the chance for both these sides to go back to their benches, have a bit of a chat with their coaching staff about what they want to see. And you can see Rantala's being told what the staff want her to do.
Yeah, I always like this, actually, especially when you can kind of see, okay, what players are dictating, you know, what players are getting people in, being the leaders in these moments, the problem solvers, because I think a lot of the time, you know, players are expecting the coaches to problem solve. Actually, you're the ones out on the pitch. You know, you should be able to problem solve yourself.
Mace. Fernandez. Kitagawa. Along the back line, here's Kramjar. Headed on by Ale, playing in a slightly wider role now, Kramjar. And Shannon O'Brien is back on, she's okay. Much to the delight of the travelling Leicester fans.
Good early opportunity now for Everton to get the likes of Mace, Fernandez up for this set piece.
Mamiki. Far post. Big header by Thibaut. And she's gone down clutching her head. And it's on Kramjar. Not sure whether there was a clash of heads in there.
Yeah, there was. There was a bad one, actually. Again, it's T-Bone, who for me has been player of the match so far. You know, she's been really brave. She's come out, eyes on the ball, and to be fair, Kramjar as well. But both of them, I think it was quite a bad head collision from what I saw there. You can see T-Bone, she's gone to flick it on. Kramjar's there, yeah, and she catches her. That's a sore one.
So we'll have another slight delay.
I think there'll be some nice shiners and some big lumps. No, but on a serious note, it is important that they're doing all the right protocols.
Not on the holiday photos, though.
You can see here as well, the two centre-halves talking. It's actually quite nice as well to see the sportsmanship still within the game. I definitely wasn't like that, talking to any of the opposition. Didn't have many friends in football, still don't.
Well, Kramjar is slowly making her way up. They look to be okay. Just, of course, will take the necessary precautions.
Yeah, I think this second half hasn't really got going yet, has it? There's been a few moments like this. Also, with regards to what I said about the referee, maybe stopping the game too much, not allowing 50-50s to play on.
And so a triple substitution to come for Everton. Claire Wheeler, Kedra Snoyce among them. And so both Thibaut and Kramjar make their way to the sidelines for a period of time.
Yeah, Mel Lawley as well, it looks like an old teammate of mine. Played with her at Liverpool. So I think for Wheeler, that kind of holding mid-roll, really good on the ball, is brave as well. Snoyce has a goal in her. And I think for Lawley, she's more of a wide player, wants to dribble, wants to penetrate with her runs. So it's a nice blend there, and you definitely felt as if a change had to be made. The game has gone a bit dead. So I think hopefully 3 new changes, fresh legs.
So it is Kramjar who makes her way off. Oragali is another one to come on. Or come off, sorry. And the final one, Tony Payne, makes her way off for Melissa Lawley. So some fresh legs on for Everton to try and make an impact in this game.
Yeah, still no Gago for me. I think that's probably a bit of a sad and worrying sign for Everton with regards to where her future lies. Because unless she's injured, she's on the bench. You know, she is one of their star players. Strong, scores goals, can bully centre-halves. So for her to not even get on so far, I think that says it all, which is a shame.
Yeah, fantastic player, of course. There was a bit of commotion in the January transfer window, whether she wanted to leave or not, wasn't really made clear. Here's Vignola. Mamiki got it all wrong, but managed to find it in the box, just not the right finish.
Yeah, we call that a half chance. I'm not going to be ultra critical there because it's a tough chance. Nice play again by Vignola down that left-hand side. You know, scoops across out with their left foot, and Mamiki times the run really well. You can see here on the edge of the box, and she tries to connect with it on the half volley, but it's just leaning back off balance the whole time. But better by Everton.
Keane. Vignola. Gets the better of Mailing at the byline. Out comes the diving Keane. 2 gloves and calms things down.
Yeah, nice change of pace there by Vignola as well. I haven't seen probably as much of that this season with regards to slows the play down, then goes again and again, gets across into the box. And I think that's where Everton have to keep providing other balls. You can see your team's doing well, or a bit of a late one there by Mace.
Yeah, that looked a little bit nasty in the back of her. Ruby Mace sliding in, and I think the referee, will give a yellow card to Ruby Mace for that challenge.
Yeah, O'Brien's in the walls today, but just going back to that point with regards to, you know, if you can see a teammate's having a little bit of joy. So, you know, Vignola is having that joy down that left-hand side, 1v1. Keep feeding her the ball, keep supplying her. But yeah, you can just see here O'Brien holds it up well, and yeah, it's just late by Mace. There's no real nasty intention in that.
McLaughlin. Keys forwards. And elsewhere around the grounds today, as O'Brien tries to break the line and is unsuccessful. City have scored a 20th Women's Super League goal this season for Khadisha Shaw. And again, another player, where will she end up next season?
I mean, it blows my mind that the situation is even where it's at. I mean, City cannot afford to lose her, put it that way.
They're a vital part of their campaign, their title-winning campaign. Janssen. Keys. Keane. And Thibault.
You can just see now both teams are trying to feel the ball a little bit in the second half. We talked about how stop-start has been. So I think both teams are now looking to try and actually just gain a little bit of momentum and actually feel the ball and possess the ball.
Given away. Here is Wheeler. And it's headed on. It's deflected by Keys. Keane diving to her right. But Wheeler fresh on as a substitute. Early chance for her.
Yeah, the captain, Tierney, there is going mad with her back line and the goalkeeper there, telling them actually miss the play out, go long. They've overplayed. I talked about sometimes a bit naive. It is good defending there and good recovery defending, but it never had to get themselves into that position in the first place, and now they have to defend a corner.
Played short. Mace. Mamiki. Gets her cross in. Mace at the byline. The referee has blown the whistle, foul on Mamiki.
I mean, it must be so frustrating for Rick Passmore, someone that's, you know, a very experienced manager. You know, these players know how much of a threat Everton are on set pieces, and then they just give away silly, needless fouls in really dangerous areas, especially when they are under pressure, when they have just conceded a needless corner, and now they're going to have to defend a free kick in a really dangerous area.
So it's Ruby Mace with two arms in the air. Middle of the pack, away by Tierney, falls for Hayashi. Headed up by Thibault. Leicester clear for now.
They have defended so well today, Leicester. I've got to give them that. Even though they've put themselves under pressure that they don't need to, when they've had to defend, they've always been the first to the ball, second to the balls.
Kitagawa. Schnois. Is that a foul throw?
Now we've got a foul throw.
2 substitutes to come on for Leicester City.
Substitution for Leicester coming off number 21,
So, Mouchon
Hannah Kane.
comes on for Hannah Kane.
By number 9, Noemi Mouchon.
And Asmita El
Also coming off number 12, Asmita Ali.
is replaced
Being
by
replaced
Heather
by number 15,
Payne.
Heather Payne.
Yeah, so again, attacking options there for Leicester. Don't really feel like the subs have been able to have an impact for Everton. Let's see if these subs can. This is where I just feel like it's a shame, though. I keep going on about Gargo, but she is a player that can create something from nothing. You know, so when games are like this, a little bit of a stalemate where not much is happening, you want to have players on the pitch that you can be that bright spark and make something happen.
Well, West Ham have one back at home. Serena Pubel has scored against the champions. Here, we are still waiting. Janssen. Mumiki. And Fernandez all the way back to her goalkeeper, Courtney Brosnan. Blundell. Lawley. Mumiki wants it up the pitch, trying to find Kaja Snoyce. Keys again in the way. Nailing does well, now Mouchon, fresh legs. And it's even better by Vignola. Mumiki, nice 1-2 play now on that far side. Options for Vignola. Squares to Blundell. If she can keep this in. Hayashi. Blundell, nice spell of possession here for Everton. Lawley swings it in. All the way over to Vignola though again. Hayashi. Kitagawa makes the run on the outside. No blue head to it. Tierney wins the throw.
Yeah, I think that's the story of the game so far. The build-up's nice. Both teams find themselves in wide areas. Everton in this case, but it's just the end ball. Yeah, and when the end ball actually is half decent, credit to Leicester, they're the first to it. They're the first contacts, and I think really both teams, that is where they've let themselves down. You know, that final ball, you know, picking out players in the box. It hasn't been there today.
Keys has to shield that because Hayashi was coming in on Keane. Had a fair share to do today. Lawley. Blundell, big ball up and over. Schnoiss coming in, but falls to the gloves once more of Katie Keane.
Yeah, you feel like it's coming. Mel Lawley actually does really well there. That's what she's good at, committing defenders. She commits 2 defenders, which then allows Blundell the space out wide. But again, could she take a touch to allow herself to get a better cross into the box, and instead it's straight to the keeper's gloves?
Tierney wants some options. Muchon through the legs of Mamiki. Janssen, Mailing, McLaughlin. Now Muchon, offside flag goes up. It is so end-to-end, this game.
Yeah, it is, and you've got players now on the park that want to make the runs in behind, Muchon being one of those. Has to time and run a little better though, and run across the line to then dip in 2 straight there. This is not what Leicester want to be seeing here. Can't see who's down right now.
Sorry, Keys.
Well, I mean, one of their key players as well, and one of their best players today. And I think this is exactly the balance, you know, that Rick Passmore had to try and get today. Who's playing, who's not, who does he need fit for next weekend, which is the more important game. And with probably 20 minutes left to play, is it worth risking Keys right now? And it's been a long season, you know, for these players especially. You know, you can talk about the top teams playing in Champions League football and progressing further in cups. That's absolutely correct, but they have bigger squads. So for most of these Leicester players, they've probably been playing 90 minutes week in, week out.
By number 31, Chantal Swaby.
So Chantal Swaby replaces Sari Keys. Rick Passmore is not going to risk her. And Swaby, who usually starts games, is off the bench.
Yeah, and I think she'll probably be starting next weekend as well. You know, she is a key player for them. She's got a bit of strapping around her left quad there. So she obviously is managing and playing through an injury.
Just over 15 minutes to go to find a goal here, to find a win on the final day. O'Brien, picked up by Wheeler. Tight, compact in that midfield, McLaughlin and Thibault. That deflection is unlucky for Leicester. Here is Wheeler, too heavy touch. Thibault onto Rantala. O'Brien. Fernandez, deep ball. Down the far side. Too far again for Kitagawa.
Yeah, I think Scott Phelan will be disappointed, to be honest. You know, I've seen Everton play a lot this season, and they possess the ball a lot better than what they've shown today.
Here they come again, though. Lawley given straight to Schnois. Hayashi. Blundell. Lovely flick on by Shannon O'Brien. And now Leicester, it's 4v4. Can they make this count? Tierney out to Muchon. The blue shirts flooding back. Mailing. McLaughlin. Got to think quick. There's Hayashi pressing down her neck. Rantala And a foul from Muchon on Mace.
Yeah, and what looked like a 4v4. And Leicester haven't done that enough today. They haven't made good opportunities into excellent ones. They've almost faded away. And also on the flip side, I was watching the blue shirts busting the gut, sprinting to get back and to recover behind the ball.
Brosnan, Blundell, Lawley. Hayashi barged off. McLaughlin onto Muchon. Still with Muchon. Over again, but at least they've tried.
Yeah, not a bad effort at all. And in this situation, it's Everton overplaying and actually playing players. Hayashi, I think it was, the ball was fizzed into her in a really dangerous position where she doesn't want it. She gives it away, and it's a lovely turn by Muchon there, and just leaning over the ball, hasn't crunched when she's connected with the shot, which is why it goes over the bar.
Some fresh legs again for Everton. Hayashi is replaced by Maz Pacheco, and Yuka Mamiki makes her way out for Kelly Gago. Again, uncertain where her future lies. This could be her final appearance in an Everton shirt.
Yeah, well, I was about to say maybe this is more of a give her 10 minutes.
Or given away cheaply. Here's Tierney! Another big save by Brosnan. Can they still make this count? Blockland over the bar, tipped over. And Brosnan says sorry, because that was so close for Leicester, and that would have been big disappointment.
Oh my gosh, I mean, do you know what? Credit first of all for her to put the hands up and say, that's my bad, you know, my error. But then the reaction from her, the double save, first of all, this one to spread herself, but actually then to get up and tip this over the bar. I mean, it's incredible goalkeeping.
Still coming out and still collecting.
And we talk about mentality. That shows to me really strong mentality. Now that's like a centre forward missing a 1v1 but then going again.
They found some rhythm, found some momentum though, Leicester. And another foul given away by Everton in a dangerous area.
Leicester are finishing the game strong. But I've also got to be ultra critical. You have to be taking those chances, especially the first one. Sam Tierney will be kicking herself. I know she's got more quality than that, you know, and she has to be putting that away and putting the team 1-0 up. The second shot is a decent effort and a good save by the keeper, but I think that shows why they're the lowest in the league with scoring goals, only 11 this season.
Rantala. Well, I thought originally that was going well over, but that only just skimmed the crossbar, I think. Jetta Rantala coming back from injury, trying to make an impact in the last game of the season.
Yeah, as soon as she's come on, she's on set pieces, she's involved in everything, and it's just dipped late. But I think you could tell by Brosnan's body language, she wasn't troubled.
What a game she has had, Courtney Brosnan. One massive save from Shannon O'Brien in the first half. And a big double save just a few moments ago. Can her team do her justice up top? Now Leicester breaking away again. Big boot from Brosnan.
Yeah, you can see what Sam Tierney's seeing there, but she has to just play at feet. Don't overcomplicate the pass.
Gago out to Vignola. Pacheco at the byline. Lawley. Nine minutes to go, and we are still kind of waiting for some momentum, rhythm from either of these sides to make it count.
Yeah, I think you didn't want to come into the game feeling like this is the way it would pan out, but I mean, as a player, when I was playing, every game had a purpose behind it. But today, for me, when I watch the teams, I think for Everton, it is a case of the season's done and dusted. And I think if I'm being completely honest as well, for Leicester, their mind is on next weekend. It's not on. It's a case of they don't want to get injured. They don't want to really be going into anything, big tackles. They don't want to be fully committing themselves.
Here is Mailing. Still with it, given away. And up and over. Big clap, but a corner kick.
I mean, the standout players for me have definitely been the two centre-halves from both teams. I think they've been rocks. Definitely T-Bone and Mace, just so consistent.
Here's Tierney, played into the box. Brosnan, all in green, 2 arms up, wins it. Fouled on the way by Swaby. Wheeler. Fernandez, Gago.
She's so strong, isn't she, Gago? That to her is probably just a little 50-50, but if you're going shoulder to shoulder with her,
you're not winning.
You're not winning.
Tierney. Through, here's Gago. Big defending by Thibaut again. Well, she's had a big impact since coming on, Kelly Gago. A strong striker up front for Everton. What they probably needed maybe earlier on.
Substitution for Leicester coming off number 27.
Another sub for Leicester, Missy Goodwin.
Being replaced by number 7, Missy Goodwin.
It's making her way on for Shannon O'Brien, who doesn't get a goal today, but has been fantastic this season. Their leading goal scorer, 6 goals to her name.
Yeah, she has, and I think Goodwin as well will be a starter come next weekend.
Here they come again, Leicester. Mace. Swaby sees it out. Kagawa. Nice looking ball in, Schnois with a header. No challenge for Katie Keane. Good win. Thibault. Swaby. Vignola driving forwards into Pacheco. Wants to cut back, doesn't receive it. Janssen is there. Wheeler. Pacheco back in. Swaby clears. Corner kick late on for Everton.
Yeah, they're piling on the pressure now. Nice little combination play. Mas Pacheco. You know she's got that in her locker with her left foot. Can Leicester hold out? They've done so well defensively so far.
Mace with the delivery low. Blundell. Mace, lovely quick 1-2 with Schnois. Can't find the pullback. Here's Tierney onto Mouchon. Mace squares to Blundell. Nice flick on up the flanks. Vignola. Late pressure here from Everton. Playing well, Vignola. Falls for Schnois in the box. Still with it, Pacheco. Deflected up and over by Thibault.
For me, I've got to say, and she is absolutely going to be probably my player of the match, Thibault. I mean, she's been everywhere today. And this is going in, by the way. It's on Mas Pacheco's weaker foot on her right foot. But she's there again, covering the ground, getting the block in. She has not put a foot wrong. This is a little bit worrying.
Yeah, there's a slight delay here because Katie Keane has gone down in the 60-yard box. Now, there's not another goalkeeper on Leicester City's bench today, so that is worrying. And there will be 7 minutes of added time. But, Tash, your player of the match today.
Yeah, it is, it's Thibault. And I think for a team that, you know, have obviously got relegated with regards to them going into a playoff game, you know, conceded 51 goals, haven't kept a clean sheet in 11 games, haven't won a game in 11 games. Today, if they are to come away with a point and a clean sheet, it will be massively to do with her. She has been solid, not just on the ball with her ball play, but also defensively, heading everything away, blocking everything away. Yeah, so absolutely her for me. There could have been a couple of others. I think Brosnan for Everton has been, you know, made some huge saves. But yeah, Thibault for me. With the season that Leicester have had, she's stood up strong today, and she's going to have to do the same next weekend against Charlton.
Yeah, she absolutely is. You'd expect her to start against the WSL 2 side as well. Everton with a corner. She's going to have to do some defending here. Mace twisting around McLaughlin. Back in, header up by Pacheco. Thibault, and the offside flag is up. And I think that was on Pacheco. Good win. Back with Brosnan. Fernandez. Kitagawa. Out to Pacheco. A late surge of energy from Everton here with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think there's going to be one more opportunity. And for me, it's just what team's going to be the one that's going to be patient, have the quality to be able to carve out something. One more chance, you feel.
Here's Vignola, scored against Leicester in the reverse fixture. Vignola deflected again. Big defensive actions from Leicester City today. Oh, Tierney. That ball straight to the face of Kitagawa. She's up though. She's okay. Here's Blundell, still on the attack. Blundell deflected. Gago headed down, blocked again by Janssen, and out for a corner.
You thought that was it, didn't you? I mean, there's probably the one time in the game that actually the quality of the ball in was really good by Blundell. Holds it up really well, and Gaga, who's just come on, actually, I think she probably doesn't connect with it as well as she would have liked with her head. She's gone to head it down, but I think it's come off her nose in the end, but they've got a corner here.
Mace with the delivery, low in, headed up and over by pink shirt. But a blue one latches on to the end of this. Blundell, Fernandez, her delivery seen in, headed out by McLaughlin. Lawley. Wheeler and Pacheco. That's deflected again, another corner. 4 minutes of added time to go.
She's so strong, Mace. There's not many females, probably Lauren James, but her strength on the ball.
Still coming here, Everton. Swung in, big save by Katie Keane. Was that heading in? And another late corner for Everton.
Yeah, credit to both keepers today. No, they really have had outstanding games. And it's Lawley who holds it up, and if she gets it wrong, it's a goal or it's an opportunity. She has to get that right, and she does.
Headed on at the far post. Schnoich is going to line this up. Can't get there in time. It's a game of headers in the box. Fallen for Vignola. Out by Rentala. Blundell. Kitagawa. Here's Lawley. Through, lovely to Mace. Mace, cut back! And it's in! And it's back for Pacheco! And the death! Everton have done it at home, and it's Matt Pacheco's first goal for the club. What a moment for her, and Everton leads.
I mean, it's a really well-worked goal. I'm going to say, firstly, it's so cruel. It really is on Leicester, who have defended magnificently for the whole game. But I also think it sums up their season. But credit to Everton. You kind of felt as if something was coming, corner after corner. And Mel Lawley as well has really impressed me when she's come on. It's a lovely ball down that right-hand side, and it's Mace that cuts it back. Gargo doesn't connect with it as well as she would have liked, but I tell you what, Maz Pacheco, acting as like a number 9 does. You know, always thinking the best. You know, she follows in and gets herself. She won't score an easier goal than that, but you see here, Mel Lawley, it's a lovely through ball. Credit to Mace. The quality here is Snoyce that doesn't connect with it, but Maz Pacheco, literally a yard out, tap in. And I mean, at home in front of the crowd here, giving them something to sing about, and it looks as if they're going to go away with the 3 points.
With a minute to go of added time, on the final game of the season, Maz Pacheco has scored her first goal for the club.
Wow, that's really nice as well. What a moment, and I think you could see how much it meant to her, the way that she celebrated, knee sliding.
And for Leicester, that looks like it's it really, you'd have thought. 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think for Leicester it's just a case of now, dust yourself off. Huge game next weekend. That's the one that matters, not today.
Headed on by Tierney. Kitagawa leaps the highest, defends that well, Mace on the end of it. You've got to give Mace her flowers for setting up that goal as well. In heaps of space, looks up, finds the right pass.
I was about to say, centre half, but in that kind of position there, she's probably one of the highest up the pitch. And that's where I think her versatility and, you know, Everton are going to have to work so hard to keep her at this club because top teams are going to come looking.
So this will be, you'd have thought, the last action of the game. And it's a throw for Leicester, headed out by Vignola. And an Everton throw.
You've got your goal. Are you happy?
And the season with at least a goal in this game. Yes. She's still smiling, Maz Pacheco.
Yeah, it's lovely to see. I know Maz really well. She was a young kid at Liverpool coming through the ranks when I was there. So it's nice to see she's gone to Villa and then obviously found her way here. Credit to her.
And there is the full-time whistle. Everton end the season on a high with a victory in front of their supporters. Hasn't always been straightforward this season for them, but there were encouraging signs again this afternoon. And the fans leave with something positive to hold on to heading into the summer. They finished 8th for the 3rd consecutive year. Maz Pacheco, the difference at the death. On the goal line, tapped it in. But for Leicester City, the concerns continue. Another defeat. And now all focus turns towards next weekend's relegation playoff against Charlton in simply what is a must-win match for them for their future in the Barclays Women's Super League. But it's finished here at Goodison Park. Everton 1, Leicester City 0. Tashdawi, a victory for Everton, a victory for Maz Pacheco. She left it late, but she has found a goal.
Yeah, a really nice moment for her in front of the home crowd. Last game at home of the season. You know, I think it's a really entertaining game, to be honest. I think you've got to give both teams credit for how they defended, you know, as a team collectively, but also, you know, some of the individual defending and goalkeeping in particular really stood out for me. Throwing bodies on the line, being brave. And then when we talk about those moments, the moments of quality, I think that's probably why Everton are where they are in the league, higher up the table than Leicester. I think Leicester had ample enough of opportunities to win the game today, but you know, that kind of final ball, final decision making let them down today. But I think they can take a lot of positives from today's performance into next weekend. And then for Everton, credit to them. You know, they got that win, and now for me it's the challenge of how do they kick on? You know, how do they keep moving up the table and not just being that kind of mid-table team? We want teams to start challenging higher up.
Just seeing pictures of Leicester City there before Scott Phelan and Everton, but Leicester look distraught. They look really disappointed because they almost held on for a point. But at the death, again, they left it late, and it's another loss. And so they end the season without winning In fact, all of them have been defeats in 2026.
Yeah, it's tough. It's not a nice position to be in, but I also know Rick Passmore, who has been around for so long, will have a level head. And I'm pretty sure that what he's saying in that huddle right now will be more positive than negative. Because again, with no disrespect to the game today, this isn't the one that matters. This isn't the one that counts. They're already relegated with regards to that. Next weekend is the one. That's their cup final to stay in this league. So, you know, regroup, be positive, big week ahead, recover, hopefully no injuries. And that's when they have to go again.
Yeah, you can see him spurring on his team. He's trying to keep the energy high. He's trying to keep the mentality there. Because next weekend, it is a must-win, no matter what. It's simple.
Yeah, it is. And it's not going to be pretty, by the way. You know, they're coming up against a team like Charlton. I played with Karen Hill. She's a tough centre-half. I played with her at Charlton. You know, the Championship League, the WSL 2, is a tough league to get out of. And they will fight and they will make it as ugly as they possibly can for this Leicester team. So they need to be ready for that battle.
So Maz Pacheco scoring her first goal for the club to give Everton the win here at Goodison Park. And that is also another thing to mention. Their first full season, Everton are playing here at Goodison.
You know what, it's lovely to see, and I want it more. You know, we talk about all the games now being played at the Emirates and at Stamford Bridge. You know, you talk about Liverpool playing across the road today at Anfield. You want to see that more. You know, I think it was a real positive statement when they announced that this season, and it kind of shows, hopefully, the kind of direction that Everton Football Club want to go with the women's team.
Well, we can head pitchside now and hear from the goal scorer, Maz Pacheco. She's been speaking with Carl Walker.
Maz, what an incredible ending to the game there. You score the goal, the celebration says it all. Talk me through that moment. What's going through your head now?
Probably that catch give me a good assist, that I tell her. But yeah, it's just, we wanted to finish the season on a high. The game wasn't exactly how we wanted it to be. We knew our standards weren't there, so to come away with 3 points, that's cherry on top.
When that ball comes to you, you put it in the back of the net. The celebration, you were pointing over. It's quite a special day for yourself as well, isn't it? You've got family and friends in with you. What does it mean to score that one?
No, amazing. I think it's my first WSL goal for Everton, so it means a lot, obviously, to have Leah, Hanan, all my fam here, my baby nephew. It just means everything, and to be, you know, in the city that I grew up in, it's just extra special.
Of course, Leah's nan walked out with Tony Payne, so we should be walking out of you next game now, maybe, after you got that goal?
Yeah, I hope so. I think, have a word with Scott. He dropped me before the game, so yeah, I think that's, you know, special mention to obviously Leah's nan for coming week in, week out, and yeah, I'm just glad to score.
It's a great way to finish the season on a high. I mean, this team, this squad, Scott as well, what do they all mean to yourself and being here, being able to give back to them today?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think we've been through a roller coaster year, so it was tough to come in, to be fair, but you know, we stayed together as a group, and Scott and the staff coming in have been amazing with us, and yeah, we just wanted to finish on a high.
You mentioned there's been highs and lows this season, of course. Where can this club go? Where can you be challenging? Where do Everton want to be?
I think definitely the top 6, but with that it comes time. You know, it's a project, and we know that, and the staff know that, but you know, as girls, we just want to play football, and we want to play, you know, the top of the table, of course, but it's a project, like I said, and we got to get there.
Right, I won't steal your time enough. Everyone's celebrating. You go and enjoy yourself. Congratulations today. Great goal.
Thank you so much.
Well, she said when she signed for the club, her grassroots club took her here to Goodison Park. She wore blue wigs on the top tier here. A bit of a full circle moment, and it's all paid off today.
Yeah, I think moments like that for a player are one when you finally do hang up the boots, you'll look back and you'll remember these moments. Your first goal for Everton at Goodison Park in front of the home crowd with all our family and friends here. You know, as a player now that's retired, you know, you have to enjoy these moments. You know, I think too many times we're always thinking about what next, but actually the lovely moment for her is there isn't another one. You know, this is it now, the end of the season, and she can really enjoy this moment now and have a good summer away and look forward to next year.
She mentioned about not starting today as
That
well
was
with
funny.
Scott Phelan. Have a word with him.
Yeah, I like that, but you know what as well, I don't mind that. You know, Maz is a player that she wants to play week in, week out. She wants to be a 90-minute player, and yeah, I'm sure she'll be knocking on the door and almost having a little dig as well to him, saying, look, I've gone and got you the winner. Why didn't you start me?
And for the fans as well, it leaves them on a positive note, but still a big summer for this club. They've still got to recruit. Kelly Gago, where is she going to go? Is she going to stay here, or will her future be elsewhere? There's a couple of other ones. Kramjar as well on loan. That could be her final appearance in an Everton shirt.
Yeah, I think standing here today, seeing this amazing stadium and the history behind it, you know, you want to see more bums on seats, you know, and the only way you do that is by winning games and being more successful. That's why Arsenal are so good at it. That's why Chelsea are, City. So I think for Everton now it's a case of actually, okay, well, how can you start winning more? How can you start being more successful to start filling out Goodison? You know, I want to be standing here with you in 2-3 years' time, seeing a full Goodison house. That's what you want to see.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a look at the highlights in this game, because it sure was end-to-end, a fair few chances for both these teams. And it started off with the home side putting early pressure on. Payne with a big ball up, testing Katie Keane early on, just tapping it over the bar.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Keane all game, to be honest. 19 years of age, only her third game here for Leicester. She really stood out for me.
And then again, Mamiki just skimming the post. Katie Keane looking to cover it, but a fantastic free kick.
Yeah, during the game I actually thought she put it wide, but again it's a save by Keane and credit to her.
And this was Sari Keys, a header, battling with Ruby Mace there across the face of goal.
Yeah, moments that can so easily change, but again it's Mace in the way here, and again Brosnan with a huge save here, taking it onto the post. She had 2 or 3 like that in today's game, and really allowed her team to then go on. And you know, they're unsung heroes. You know, everyone will be talking about Mas Pacheco, but if it wasn't for Brosnan making these saves, then she wouldn't be the hero today.
Yeah, what a fantastic save, tipping it onto the post. Everton having their chances again, and Kramjar whacking the crossbar.
Yeah, she couldn't have hit that any cleaner, to be honest. Those are the ones where it's just not meant to be.
This was a big let-off for Courtney Brosnan, but again, big saving from her. 2 big saves, gets up and then goes again to tap it over.
Yeah, these are the moments where Leicester have to do better. Sam Tierney has to score here, doesn't need that extra touch, which then shuts down the angle and allows Brosnan to make the save. And then this second one actually is a really good effort, and that's just good goalkeeping.
Everton again down the other side though, and another good save on display today, this time from Katie Keane.
Yeah, I think sometimes female goalkeepers get scrutinised a bit too much for me, but if anyone's watching the game today, I think them 2 were standouts.
And then this was the fantastic goal, Ruby Mace, Noyce, and Pacheco to tap it in.
Yeah, lovely play, real quality, and I think that was the difference today. Lawley, Mace making that run. Snoyce doesn't connect with it, but Mas Pacheco's thinking the best. And like I said, as a number 9 myself, you love those goals. It's not going to get in any easier. And what a moment for her in front of the Everton home crowds there.
Her first goal for the club in the last minute of the league season. And we're seeing pictures here of her giving her boots to some Everton fans.
Yeah, I don't think you realise as a player just how much that means to the fans. You know, they're role models now. They're almost like little mini celebrities, the female game. So that's really nice to see.
Did you ever give your boots away?
I had to pay for my boots back in the day. I couldn't afford to give them away.
I'll let you off.
No, but do you know what? On a serious note, I think that fans are the heartbeat of the women's game, and I love that, and that's what I miss more than anything. Fans and how approachable the players are, and that kind of personal effect that they have, and the humbleness that the players have. You don't see this in the men's game, and I hope that never changes in the women's game, because that's what makes the women's game so special.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's hear from your player of the match, Tash. Julie Thibault is with Carl Walker.
Julie, I'm sure a very frustrating end to the game, not one that you wanted, but maybe some positives to take from the performance today?
Yeah, as you said, like, we are really disappointed about the result. I think we put some, the performance was there. Yeah, we just missed like to score goals. The goal at the end of the game, it's really unfortunate for us. Everyone is trying to do their best, trying to do their job 100%. I think today everyone show up. And yeah, it's really frustrated for us. We wanted this game to show that we have the level to play in this league. We have a game next week, and I think we're going to build a lot about this game. So yeah, we're going to take the positive of this game.
It's been a tough season, I'm sure results will say that, some performances as well. But to come out here today, the final game of the season, especially ahead of what you've got next week, where did that spirit and that fight come from today?
Yeah, as you say, it's like a really, really tough season for us. Like at the beginning of the season, we didn't want it to be in this position. Today we are, but we want to fight until the end. Like we have a big game next week. We wanted to take this game to build our confidence. I think we did it. As you said, like we had a good performance. It's just like really unfortunate that we conceded a goal at the end. But we have a lot to take from today to bring to the next game. And yeah, we absolutely want to stay in this league.
Next week, huge game. What can you take from today in attack, in defence? What will you take into that one to ensure that next season you remain in the WSL?
Well, the main thing you said, like the spirit, the fight, I think that's the main thing in football. Like you have to be better than your opponent. So you have to play 90, 100 minutes and be better than your opponent. And I think today we also like had really good moment with the ball in possession. We were calm on the ball. We found the players. We had a different option. So I think we're going to take that and use it for the next game.
I understand it's hard in moments like this to accept individual accolades, but you are the Barclays WSL Player of the Match. Congratulations for today. Good luck for next week.
Thank you. Thank you.
But for Leicester, I mean, we've said it before, big game next week.
Yeah, it's huge. It really is. It's their cup final. And I think there's lots of positives to take from the game today. I think structure-wise, they look really comfortable. It's just the final thing. It's the hardest thing in football to score goals, it really is. And that's absolutely something they have struggled with. But they did create enough against a top team, by the way, in the WSL. Everton are a good team. You know, in my opinion, Charlton are a slightly easier prospect to come up against. So if they're creating that many chances against a team, you know, that are mid-table in the WSL, they should be able to do that against Charlton. But then it's about putting the ball in the back of the net.
Well, we will see next Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Elsewhere today, though, in the BWSL, Tottenham have beaten Brighton by 2-1 on the road. Chelsea 1-0 against Manchester United. Sam Kerr with her last goal for the club. Everton beat Leicester City late on. Arsenal put 3 past Liverpool before they got one back through Zara Shaw. London City Lionesses 2, Aston Villa 1. And the champions, Manchester City, end on a high, a 4-1 win against West Ham. So the final standings for the 2025-26 season, Manchester City are champions of the BWSL. Arsenal have secured automatic Champions League qualification for next season. Chelsea will be playing, but they will go through a playoff stage. Manchester United miss out. Tottenham the best of the rest. London City, Brighton, Everton finish 8th for the 3rd consecutive year. Aston Villa, West Ham, Liverpool, and then Leicester City, as we say. Another loss they haven't won in 2026, and they will face Charlton next Saturday in the playoff relegation game.
Now the second Spirit of the Blues Award is the first.
So they're doing their final player awards. Everton at Goodison Park, after the final home game for them, final game of the season, has ended with a victory thanks to Mas Pacheco. Elation for Everton, heartbreak for Leicester at the death, and it is finished here at Goodison Park. Everton 1, Leicester City 0.